How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have some really interesting things happening in the market right now. Some people are saying what just happened is going to change crypto, and they're voting with their dollars. I want to talk about that along with some of the big inflow data from yesterday. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. And sorry for the lighting and audio. We'll be back to normal here soon. But let's start here. Bitcoin sitting right around 69,200. A lot of volatility the last few days. As I've said, this is coming. Volatility is coming. We have, 100 hours? Less than 100 hours before the election. And there's a big change that's happening right now, which is causing people to get a little bit less bullish on Bitcoin. But as you can see, from a technical level, we're still coming down to prior resistance and possibly flipping that into support. Extremely bullish from a from a technical perspective, and fundamentally, Bitcoin looks great too. So many people adopting it, talking about it, wanting to invest in it. So I think we're in a good place. If you want to trade crypto, by the way, if you want to trade this bounce, there's a link to Margex underneath the video. You can get started in just a few seconds because they have no KYC and you don't need a VPN. Now let's look at this. Bitcoin dominance hitting new highs of 60.36%. When we go to CoinMarketCap, you can see Ethereum down under 2,500 again, Solana under 165. A lot of cryptos taking a bit of a dip here over the last 24 hours. And a lot of that comes down to this. The presidential election winner betting on Polymarket. Kamala Harris starting to move up in the polls. Keep in mind, Trump was at nearly 70%, 65-70%. Now he's at 58.7%. Now, this is causing the market to get fearful a little bit, but let me remind you, Bitcoin doesn't care who becomes president. The trend stays the same. Increase in debt, increase in money printing, more financial instability, right? More debt. That causes Bitcoin's price to go up. That's just how it works. So I would not be too worried either way. I think we're in a better situation than where we are right now. No matter who becomes president, I think we're in a better situation. But obviously, Trump is much more pro-Bitcoin and pro-crypto. So that will affect the market. Be ready for volatility. There's only, like I said, about 72 to 100 hours left. Now take a look at this. We did have inflow data come in last night. IBIT with nearly 2 billion in volume. GBTC had outflows. ARCB had outflows, BITB outflows, FBTC outflows. IBIT with a $0 day. Now, I find this so interesting. I know we've talked about it before, but they have $2 billion in volume. $2 billion. This kind of reminds me of, like, if I was to flip a coin 2,000 times, don't you think that it wouldn't land exactly 1,000 heads, 1,000 tails? Like, even though that's the probability, you would think that it would be off a little bit. And, this is even less likely when you have $2 billion in volume. It's even less likely. It's not a 50-50 shot, right? Everyone else is selling, you think, okay, well, they're going to sell. Or, maybe they're going to buy no matter what. What I think is happening here is that we are seeing them have some big buyer that's willing to sweep up all the extra Bitcoin at certain times. So, yeah, you guys are having an outflow day, Larry? Okay, I'll take whatever Bitcoin is flowing out that day. Maybe it's 50 million, maybe it's 100 million, maybe it's 300 million. Or the opposite could be happening too. Someone says, hey, I want to sell, but I'll wait until a inflow day. And then they just dump. I think the other situation's more likely, but it is just interesting to see how that's playing out because it's so unlikely to have that much volume and yet have zero inflows or outflows. There's also some news. Everyone thinks Ethereum is dead, but UBS is tokenizing treasuries on Ethereum. Today, the $1.7 trillion bank launched the UBS USD Money Market Investment Fund token, UMINT for short. We have seen growing investor appetite for tokenized financial assets across asset classes. We've heard from BlackRock too that they want to tokenize everything, that they're going to tokenize everything. I want to just jump back to the ETFs here for a second too. We're uncertain who's going to be the next president of the U.S., but you can see that BlackRock is, just dumping money into Bitcoin, right? 80 million, 300 million, 400 million, 300 million, 70 million, 330, 43, 317. This is the first day in half the month that they did not have any inflows. And, it was an overall outflow day. I think it's important just to zoom out, right? There's some negative price action now, but when you look at it, IBIT's been swallowing up a lot. The other ETFs have been swallowing up Bitcoin too. We look really bullish technically. We look really bullish fundamentally. At this point, it's just a bit of a waiting game. There's going to be volatility, and I think you can play that, right? If you want to bet actually who the next president's going to be, you can use Margex to do that. Obviously, if you play some longs and Trump becomes president, this could jump right back to all-time highs. Now, if you did that right now at 69,200, and we go up to, 66,000, right? That is about a 10% jump, and that would put us in new price discovery. If you're on 10x, you get 100% return. If you're on 50x, you get 5x return. I'd be careful about that with the volatility that's going to come. I think there's going to be a ton of volatility Monday and Tuesday. A lot of the time too, there's volatility on Sunday, I guess, because there's not as much trading. Later this week, we do have the Fed meeting as well. They're going to be talking about their view of the economy, what they see for rate cuts for the rest of the year. So yeah, some people are saying everything has changed because Kamala Harris is jumping up in the polls a little bit. But at this point, I think nothing's changed for Bitcoin. There are going to be different presidents every 4 years. There are going to be new politicians every year. There are going to be new politicians. But you can see the whole government is moving more pro-Bitcoin. If you just take the government as a whole, it's more pro-Bitcoin than it was last year and the year before. So I still think we're in a really good spot. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Let me know if you're waiting to DCA or to buy Bitcoin until you figure out who the president is, or have you been dollar cost averaging this whole time? Is it just business as usual? Again, if you want to trade crypto, there's the link underneath the video to Margex. I really do appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts below. I'll see you all in the next.